Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my channel if you are brand new. My name is Danielle and I'm a full-time reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay. Today I'm back for another What Sold Wednesday video, and if you don't know what that means, this is just a video that I release every Wednesday. I go through all of my sales from the previous week. I talk about them more in depth. I talk about what sold, how much it sold for, what platform it sold on, how much I paid for it, and how long it took to sell. So if you guys are interested in seeing my sales from last week, go ahead and keep watching, and let's go ahead and jump right in. Before we go ahead and get started, I do want to thank Vendoo for sponsoring today's video. If you guys don't know what Vendoo is actually the #1 cross-posting software for resellers. Vendoo is actually one of the things that I recommend everyone needs, whether you're just starting out or you're a seasoned reseller. I think Vendoo is one of the best things you can ever purchase for your business. So not only can you cross-list extremely quickly, but you can also relist fast, and it allows you access to powerful analytics that can take your business to the next level. Vendoo has allowed me to expand into different platforms extremely easily. Before I was using Vendoo, I was not listing on eBay at all, and with Vendoo, it makes it so incredibly easy to list on eBay that eBay doesn't seem as scary anymore with using Vendoo. If you guys have been searching for a service that does this for you, I promise you, Vendoo is the way to go. I've tried other companies in the past, and Vendoo just does not compare to any of the other ones. So if you guys are interested in signing up for Vendoo, I will have a link down below where you can save 25% off your first month service. And I hope you guys sign up because I promise you will not regret it. And I promise you guys it will literally pay for itself. Jumping right into these sales now, we're actually going to be talking about February 27th to March 5th. Starting with February 27th, the first sale I made was a Poshmark sale. This was a pair of Madewell women's high-rise crop skinny jeans in a size 30. These sold for $40 with a Poshmark fee of $8, and then I was left with $32. These I got from a flip lot, and if I do mention something coming from a flip lot, that just means I'm actually selling it on consignment. So I use the Flip app to get this inventory for free, and then in the end, I actually split the profit with myself and my client. But these actually took 5 days to sell, which is actually really fast compared to how fast I typically sell Madewell jeans. And I typically move them between 40 and 50 every time. And these were a really great style, and they were good size at size 30, so that is why I think they sold really fast. Like I said, I had them listed at 50 originally. Typically, all Madewell jeans start at 50, sometimes 60 if it's a really sought-after style, but these ended up selling really quickly, and 40 was still a really reasonable offer, so I went ahead and accepted, but I'm really happy with this, and they sold extremely fast. And the next sale was another Poshmark sale. This is by the brand Vince, and it was a pair of women's slip-on charcoal gray loafers in a size 8. These sold for $42 with a Poshmark fee of $8.40, and then I was left with $33.60. These I also got from a flip lot, and it took about 3.5 weeks to sell. I really like selling Vince. There definitely are a ton of pieces by Vince that do not do well at all, but when you find those specific pieces that do pretty well, they typically sell very quickly. These I had listed at, I want to say $50 originally, and me and this person, I think we went back and forth, and 42 is my lowest that I was going to go. Typically, when I do list things at $50, 42 is typically my lowest. Sometimes I go to 40 depending on the item, but these, my lowest was $42, and they went ahead and accepted my offer of 42, which made me very happy. But overall, these sold fairly quickly and had a good profit for myself and my client, so I'm happy with it. And the last sale on February 27th was an eBay sale. This is actually a Vineyard Vines men's blue two-tone waterproof jacket in a size large. This sold for $45, and then I did not write down the fee that I paid on this because I forgot. That's my bad. But this was also from a flip lot, and it took 2 weeks to sell. This sale actually really surprised me because Vineyard Vines typically doesn't sell very quickly for me, but this jacket sold extremely fast. And when I was looking at the comps on like waterproof jackets that were kind of like this, they weren't really super high, but I decided to start this jacket at 45 just to see how it did, and I was expecting to get an offer, but it ended up selling on eBay outright, which is amazing. I don't usually pick up a lot of Vineyard Vines just because it typically doesn't do super well for me, but this actually did it really well, so maybe I will start looking into getting a little bit more men's Vineyard Vines in, but also I just think jackets are still selling really well right now, so that could also be the case with this as well, but it still sold really quickly, and I'm honestly really happy with it. And moving on to February 28th, I made one little lonesome sale on this day, and it was a Mercari sale. This is a pair of New Balance men's fresh foam Roab version 1 running shoes in black and gray. These sold for $59 with a selling fee of $5.90 and a processing fee of $2.01. Then I was left with $51.09. These are again from a flip lot, and they took 3 months to sell. I have sold a pair of these exact shoes in women's in a different color in the past, and they did not sell as well as these. And I think it's just because they had some wear on them. But these sold extremely quickly, and it was weird. I had these listed at $60 originally, and someone offered me $59. I thought it was so strange. It threw me off a little bit because I've never seen someone offer $1 off. It was very interesting, but I was extremely happy with this sale because typically Mercari, not a ton of like really high price sales happen over there, and I don't really have like a ton of sales over there. So this was surprising. I definitely expected these to sell on Poshmark or eBay, but I am extremely happy with this sale, and it had just a really great profit for myself and my client. And moving on to March 1st, the first sale I made was actually another Mercari sale. This is a pair of Area women's mid-rise whip stitch bootcut jeans, and they sold for $45 with a selling fee of $4.50 and a processing fee of $1.61. And then I was left with $38.89. These jeans I actually got from a flip lot once again, and they took 2 weeks to sell. And this sale is weird because I had these for a while, and I initially wanted to throw them in the wash because they had a couple stains on the front. And if you sell Area jeans, you actually know that they actually sell with stains on them and spots on them. Like, I don't know why, but they do. And I was gonna throw these in the wash, and I've actually had them for a little bit in a flip lot. Like, I got them a while ago, but they sold really fast, and I had them sitting in my damages box for so long, and at some point I was just like, okay, just gonna list them with the stains because they're probably gonna sell anyways, maybe a tad less, but we're just gonna list them because they need to get out of this bin because they're flip clients. So I went ahead and listed them, and they ended up selling in 2 weeks with the stains on them. So I could have just listed them, and that's something I've learned with Area jeans is that they sell with damage and stains and everything. They just have such a cult following that if you're not picking up Area jeans, I would highly recommend that you try it out because I have not been disappointed with them at all. I sell them extremely fast every single time, and they always sell for a really great amount. So I would highly recommend to start picking up Area jeans, and I like their shoes as well. I don't have a ton of experience with like shirts and other items, but with jeans and shoes, they sell extremely well. And next was a Poshmark sale. This is a pair of Eileen Fisher women's black slim ankle pants in a size small. These actually sold for $50 with a Poshmark fee of $10, and then I was left with $48. These I also got from a flip lot, and these actually took 1 month to sell. I actually have so many of these exact same pairs of pants in my closet. My flip client actually finds them all the time, and not all of them sell for $50. I was actually really surprised when this pair sold for $50, but I can typically move them between $40 and $50, which is really great for me and especially for flip items. And these actually sold extremely quickly, and I'm actually really happy with this. Eileen Fisher is a brand that it's hard because there's a lot of things that are Eileen Fisher that do not sell good at all. But then there's so much stuff that sells really well. I do think that it used to sell a lot better. I think it's just probably oversaturated now because obviously all of us resellers talk about it. But there is still a market for Eileen Fisher. You just have to be a little more picky. But I still really like selling Eileen Fisher, and I really enjoyed this sale. And next was another Poshmark sale. This is by Nike, and it was a pair of women's brand new racing Zoom sneakers. I think they were track shoes, and these were in a size 10. They sold for $34 with a Poshmark fee of $6.80, and then I was left with $27.20. These shoes are from a flip lot again, and these actually took almost 8 months. This is, I think, one of my oldest flip items, or this is one of my oldest flip lots that I have that has just some items left, and I honestly thought I would never sell these shoes. These were actually brand new without the tag, and when I looked up comps, they just weren't great, and I realized after that I probably shouldn't have purchased them. And now with flip lots, 8 months later, I'm actually way pickier with my stuff. Like, I probably wouldn't have gotten these. I'm also really good at looking up my comps before I agree to get the items now. Back then, I think I was just excited to be getting free inventory and all of that, and I didn't really look up everything like I should have. And now that I do look up everything like I should, I'm a little pickier, and I would not get these now from flip. if I found these at the thrift store for a reasonable price, I probably would pick them up. But I honestly can't be mad at the sale because it did make a profit still, but it's not the most profitable flip sale ever. And the last sale on March 1st was another Poshmark sale. This is actually a pair of Skechers branded with the tag Women's Breathe Easy black sneakers. These were in a size 8 and they sold for $35 with a Poshmark fee of $7. And then I was left with $28. These are from a flip lot once again, and these took 1.5 months to sell. These were branded with the tag, and I really wanted to get a little more for them, but honestly, like, I think I had them listed at probably $40. So $35 was very reasonable. This person that bought these actually was very persistent in not buying them for $35, but I knew off the bat that $35 was my lowest offer because I have quite a bit of experience selling Skechers. I think they're just a really good bread and butter brand. It's not the best brand to get with a flip lot and sell through consignment, but I just really like selling Skechers because they're just very popular. So I honestly don't mind making a little less on Skechers sales, and honestly, shoes are so easy to just photograph and everything that it's just, I don't really care that much, but I am very happy with the sale and they sold very quickly. And then moving on to March 2nd, the first sale I made was another Poshmark sale. This was actually a bundle sale, which I haven't had a bundle sale in so long. I don't know why. I feel like I have a very good variety of stuff in my closet and like a bunch of stuff in the same size, but it's just like I don't make a lot of bundle sales. I don't know why. But this sale was actually a bundle of 2 Bet and Court pullovers. One of them was pink and one of them was blue. They were like the same exact thing, just 2 different colors, and they were each listed at $28 originally. One of them is an extra small and one of them is a small. I don't know if they know that. I hope they do. I hope they looked at that. But they actually sold for $45 with a Poshmark fee of $9, and then I was left with $36. This person had actually offered me separately on both of these items, and I actually added them to her bundle and offered her less than what she had offered me for each individual one because I wanted her to save on shipping, and she got a really good deal. Both of these pullovers actually came from my JOMAR Wholesale Passes palette. If you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, I have a video that's actually one of my most viewed videos on my channel that is all about the JOMAR Wholesale Passes palette that I bought, and then I have a whole follow-up video, so if you're interested in that, definitely go check those videos out. But these took 6 months to sell, and I actually hadn't listed these for a while after I listed the majority of my palette just because it was stuff I didn't know much about. This is not a brand that I would be picking up at the thrift store at any means. It's just not a brand that I want to sell, but I am so happy with this sale, and obviously it's adding to the whole profit of my palette, so I'm really happy with it still. And next was another Poshmark sale. This is by the brand, I don't know how to say this. It's like spelled AHNU. I'm literally not even going to try. I butcher brand names, you guys know. This is a pair of women's black flat shoes, and they were in a size 6.5. They sold for $35 with a Poshmark fee of $7, and then I was left with $28. These are from my flip lot, and they took 7.5 months to sell. This is another item that I've had for a really long time, another one of my oldest flip lots that I have, and I don't know if I'd sell this brand again. I am happy they ended up selling for $35, and I want to say these sold outright, but 7.5 months for a flip lot is just a little on the long side, and I would prefer to just not sell it again, and I don't think I have another pair of this brand at all, and I don't think she's sent it to me again. I want to say. I'm not for sure, but I don't know if I would want to sell this again. I think it was a nice pair of shoes, but this brand probably just isn't as profitable as I want it to be, and that goes again with my whole thing of I'm being way more pickier with my flip lots and what I get in them, and so I would probably not get these again, but I am happy they sold, and I'm happy that we both had a profit on them, even though it wasn't like the biggest profit ever. I'm still happy we both had a profit. And the last sale on March 2nd was an eBay sale. This is a pair of Asics women's light 2 running shoes in black and white in a size 8. These sold for $35, and then I, once again, forgot to write the fee I paid. That is my bad. I don't know why I'm so bad at that. I just forget. These are from a flip lot, and they took 1 week to sell. I have actually really found that I really like selling Asics shoes. They typically sell pretty quickly for me. I had these listed at $40 originally, and they had barely any wear on them, so I knew I wasn't going to sell them for less than $35. And this person did offer me a few times way lower, but I was stuck at $35 as my selling price. This pair of shoes I honestly thought would have better comps, but it didn't. I still like selling Asics, and I think it's just a really fast mover, so I will still get Asics in flip-flops, but these the comps weren't as high as some of the other shoes I've sold, which is totally fine. It still did make a profit, and it sold extremely quickly, so I'm still really happy with it. And moving on to March 3rd, the first sale I made was a Poshmark sale. This is by the brand Can. You know what? I don't even know if that's how you say this brand name, but I've been saying it like that for as long as I've been doing YouTube, and we're just gonna go with it still. This is a pair of women's Dylan high-rise ripped ankle skinny jeans in a size 30. They sold for $40 with a Poshmark fee of $8, and then I was left with $32. These are from a flip lot. Once again, I have lots of flip sales every week, you guys know. These took 3 weeks to sell, so they sold extremely quickly. These actually sold outright for $40. Typically, Can jeans, I can move anywhere between like as low as $25 all the way up to like $45. It really is a large range, and it all depends on the style and the size and the condition and everything, because this pair of jeans is just a really on-trend distressed skinny jean, and people love their distressed skinny jeans. Those are never going to go out of style, and so that is why they sold so fast and outright for $40. But then other pairs that I have that are kind of just plainer are kind of sitting for a little longer, and they won't sell for as much. But I do really like to sell this brand. I think that they have a pretty good following, and a lot of people really like their jeans. Personally, my thrift stores actually mark this brand up pretty high, and so when I get it from my flip client, I do like to sell it just because I know I can get anywhere between whatever I just said. And I do try to only get the pairs from her that I know we're going to sell for a pretty good amount. But I'm really happy with this sale, and they sold in 3 weeks, which is extremely quickly, so I'm super happy with it. And the next sale was actually, I think, my best sale. I had a few really great sales last week, and this is, I think, the best one. This was actually a pair of Nike women's Super Rep pink cycling shoes in a size 10. These sold for $125 with a Poshmark fee of $25, and then I was left with $100. These are also from a flip lot, and they took 4.5 months to sell. These shoes, funny story, they had a lot of offers and a ton of attention on eBay, on Poshmark, not so much on Mercari just because it's a really high priced item, but I held out on these because everyone was offering so low, and the comps on these were actually crazy. I was really surprised. But also, cycling shoes, I feel like they're just expensive in general, so I also wasn't super surprised. But these actually ended up selling fairly quickly. Like 4.5 months is not bad at all. And I had them listed at, I want to say, $150. I think around there to begin with. It might have been like a $140 or something. And when I received an offer for $125, I immediately accepted it because it was my first offer over $100. And my lowest was always like, I think $100 for the other people offering, and no one wanted them. And so when I finally received a $125 offer, I was extremely excited. But overall, this was such a great sale, and it had such a good profit for myself and my client. And the last sale on March 3rd was another Poshmark sale. This was actually by the brand Everlane, and it was a brand new with tag women's the collarless belted shirt dress in blue. This was in a size 12, and it sold for $50 with a Poshmark fee of $10, and then I was left with $40. This dress is actually also from a flip lot, not my regular client, but another flip lot. And this actually took 2.5 months to sell, so right before the selling period was going to end. I could not stress to you guys how much I love selling Everlane. This is one of my favorite brands ever to sell. This dress I had listed at $50 to begin with, so it sold outright, which was amazing. And it sold extremely quickly, and I feel like I am almost never let down with Everlane. There's been a couple pieces where they either didn't sell or they just didn't sell for a lot. But everything else has sold so fast, has sold for such a good amount that I love Everlane. If you're not picking up Everlane, I would highly suggest you pick it up because it is definitely one of my favorite brands. And moving on to March 4th, I had another really great sale from Poshmark this day, and it was a Lululemon men's intermission bomber jacket in black in a size medium. This sold for $115 with a Poshmark fee of $23, and then I was left with $92. This jacket is, again, from a flip lot, and it took 2.5 weeks to sell. This sold so quickly, and I want to tell you guys, this jacket actually had some like random embroidery on one of the sleeves and on the back, and it still sold for $115. I honestly wasn't sure if it would sell for a really great amount with the embroidery. I've heard that Lululemon does sell with random embroidery on it, which honestly makes sense. I love Lululemon, so I would buy it with random embroidery. But I was really surprised it sold this fast and for $115. I want to say I had it listed for $130 to begin with because the comps on this were really crazy, and they were all super, super high, so I decided to kind of list high and then get an offer, and that is exactly what happened. So I'm really happy with this sale. This is another one of my best sales from last week, and it had such a great profit for myself and my client. And the second and last sale on March 4th was another Poshmark sale. This is by the brand Sienna Sky, and it was an orange floral fox wrap dress in a size medium. This sold for $23 with a Poshmark fee of $4.60, and then I was left with $18.40. This dress I did get from a JOMAR wholesale box. I want to say probably a CPR box, and I paid $4.65 for it, and it took 5.5 months to sell. So overall, this was a pretty great sale. It still had a decent profit. Obviously, this is not something that I would be picking up at the thrift store, but typically when I get some things in wholesale that I wouldn't normally pick up, I'd still list it just because I didn't have to go search for it. I'd have to spend the time sourcing it, so I still list the stuff. I had it listed at, I want to say, like 28, and I honestly thought I would get just a really low offer on it, and I actually got a pretty reasonable offer at 23, so overall, not the most amazing sale ever, but also not a terrible sale, so I'm still happy with it. And moving on to March 5th, the last day of last week, the first one I made was another Poshmark sale, and this is a pair of Levi's 711 mid-rise dark gray skinny jeans in a size 27. These sold for $26 with a Poshmark fee of $5.20, and then I was left with $20.80. These are, again, from a JOMAR wholesale box, probably the same, not the same CPR box, but a CPR box, and these cost me $4.65 once again. They actually might have been from the same box. These took almost 6 months to sell, and I don't love selling Levi's. There are a couple styles that I will sell, but overall, like, Levi's are just not something I'm passionate about and that I love. There's a ton of people out there that love Levi's, and that is great for everyone else. But personally, I just don't get excited about them, so I try not to sell things I'm not super excited about, and Levi's is just something that I just don't really care to sell. But these did have a fairly decent profit. Once again, not the best sale ever, but also not the worst. It's kind of just an average sale, and I'm not mad at it. And the very last sale of last week was an eBay sale. This is a pair of Eileen Fisher women's organic linen tweed pull-on pants in a size large. These sold for $40, and then I paid a fee of $6.23, and that left me with $33.77. These are actually from a flip lot once again, and these sold in 1 week. Like I said, Eileen Fisher, a lot of people don't like it. A lot of people do like it. There's a thin line between what sells well, what doesn't. For me, Eileen Fisher does extremely well. Obviously, like I said before, there are pieces that do not do well at all. Pants are something for me that they most of the time sell really well. And these actually sold very quickly, which surprised me. And I do find that Eileen Fisher does very, very well on eBay. So if you are picking up Eileen Fisher and you're not selling on eBay, I would recommend that you go over there and start listing it, because I find that it does very well over there. But overall, this was a great sale with a great profit for myself and my client, and I'm really happy with it. Alright, guys, that is it for this week's What's So Wednesday video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. As always, let me know what your favorite sale was down below. Obviously, mine is the Lululemon jacket and the Nike cycling shoes. Those were amazing, and if you guys watch my videos a lot, you know I don't really make a ton of high price sales, so when I have like more than one in a week, it's actually really exciting for me. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit that bell notification to be notified every time I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again next week.